Today I'd like to talk about doing a mail merge. Mail merge is a useful task for people that need to send out lots of letters to a group of people on a mailing list. Before we actually get started on how to actually conduct this in Word, I want to talk about the concept of the mail merge first. A mail merge starts off with a document, a template that you've created that has the information that you want to send out to each of your clients or each of your friends. For instance, in this particular letter, we have a group of sentences and paragraphs that we want to tell them about. We also have these special areas that are places where the data for our merge is going to be placed into the document when it's merged. This information here, in this case address block, greeting line, comes from a separate data file. In this case, this is the mail merge recipients. These are the people that you're going to be creating the letters for. So this we would call the merge data. Now once you've created the template and the data file, you can do both of these in Microsoft Word. You're going to conduct the merge. When you conduct the merge, it's going to create a group of separate letters. All of these letters will be contained within the same document. But in this case, you'll notice instead of having this specialized block area here for the data to be inserted, the actual name of the person is inserted. In this case, Mr. Talos Boris. You can see up here in the merge data, it shows that name and this name here. So these would be known as the merged output letters. But there's some key point here. Each of these different items, the template, the merged data, and the merged output letters, are a separate file. The merged template is a Word document. The merged data is an Access file, and the output is a separate Word file. It's very important to save these files within the same folder. In the future, when you want to do another merge using these items, you need to know where to find them. Word has a habit of wanting to save the merge data in a separate location from where you save your actual merge template and your output letters. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and we're actually going to create a mail merge. We'll start off by creating the data file that goes along with this document that we've created. So we've created a document, but at this point we don't have any of the data connection points. In order to do that, we need to create the data file. You start off by going to the ribbon and choosing the Mailings tab. Under the Mailing tab, there is an area called Start Mail Merge. The first thing you want to do here is go to Select Recipients and type New List. This will bring up the option to insert a new address list. So this is where you're going to type the information for your address, for your addresses and other information that will go into your letter. For instance, here under title, I'll type Mr. Talos Boris. I've went and completed 2 entries into my data file. You can enter as many here as you need. So once you're done entering the data, you click the OK button. And at this point, it's going to ask you to save your address list. You'll notice here that Microsoft Word wants to place it in a location called My Data Sources under your My Documents file. This is not where I want to save this. I want to save it where I've also saved my policy letter. In this case, I've saved my policy letter under My Documents file and CIS 101. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give this a name of Policy Letter Data and save it. So at this point, I wanted to actually go to you and show you Windows Explorer and show you that there are now 2 separate documents, the policy letter document, which is the one we're seeing here, and a data file. These other two items here are files that are being used since we have both of these documents open. Once we close these two files will disappear. Okay, so let's go back to the document. Okay, now the template file, we need to insert the data that we just created in our data file. To do this, we back to the Mailings tab and go to the area it's called Write and Insert Fields. So at the top of this letter, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to insert the address block. It's very simple. There's a button right here that does the insert address block. It comes up and gives me some options that I'm going to choose from in order to make the address look like I want. So in this case, I like the way this looks. I can look at a preview at the different items to make sure it looks correct. I can then say OK. At this point, it puts this specialized field into my Word document. This will not print as the way it's shown. It will actually insert the data from the data file. You'll see that in a moment. So I'm going to press the return key and I'm going to insert the next thing, the greeting line. Greeting line, once again, it comes up with some options. I'm just going to choose the default. Okay, there are times when you don't want to just insert the items it has here. There's other fields that we can insert. For instance, I want to put the first name of the person right here in our document. So I'm going to place the cursor where I want the data to go. I'm then going to go up to Insert Merge Field and click the little down arrow next to it, and I'm going to choose the first name field. This will place the first name here at the beginning of this sentence. I'm going to press a space so that there's some area between the field that will be entered and the sentence itself. Okay, now that we're done with the merge document, I recommend saving it. So just come up and save the file. So this will save it back to where I opened it to begin with. Now the next thing that I want to do is I want to actually complete the merge documents. So the last thing you're going to do here is you're going to go over within the Mailings tab to where it says Finish and Merge. You're going to click on this. There are options here. One of those is to edit individual documents, print them, or send an email message. In this case, I want to edit the document, so I'm going to go ahead and click here, and it'll give me an option. Do I want to do all of my records, the current records, or a certain set of records? I'm just going to choose all. Okay. When this is done, it has created a new Word document. In this case, it's called Letters 2. If I scroll down through here, I can see here is the first person that I placed into my data file. There is the address section, the greeting line, and down here is the first name of the individual. If I keep scrolling down, I'll see here's the next letter. Different information, different first name. So as I said, this is a separate document. At this point, I recommend saving this to the same location as you saved the other items. So at this point, I'm going to go to Save As. I'm going to make sure that I am going to the correct location on my system. In this case, I'm in the correct area, the CIS 101 folder, and here you can see the other document. In this case, I'm going to call this Policy Unfortunately, I have a little issue here. Let me start over. Policy Manual Merged Documents, and save this. So this is the finished merged files. If I go back to Windows Explorer, you'll now notice that there is the database file, the merged documents file, and the policy letter file. These are the three different documents that you're going to be needing for this particular lab. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close each of the Word documents that I have open. It's going to ask me once again to save. I'm going to say sure. I've made no changes. And if I come back to my to my document library here, I should see, let me make sure everything's closed. And let's make sure everything closes here. I still have a slight issue with the one file. There we go. It's finally closed. Here we go. Here are the 3 files. The top one is the template file, the merge template. The bottom one is the merge data. And the center one are the final merged output documents. For this lab, when you complete it, it's the merged document file that I want you to upload. These would be the ones that you would be sending out to your clients or your friends, or you'd be printing to send out to your clients or friends, and that's the one I want. Okay, good luck to you on this lab.